Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. I expect some new information, big information in the Soto case, little Madeline. I think we're going to learn a lot more very quickly. One of the reasons I'm saying this is that the evidence/discovery has been requested by the defense. So once that becomes an exchange of material, then all of a sudden the discovery, the evidence in the case becomes a public record. Now everything is subject to being sealed by the court, other reasons not being made public, but this is the moment. So I think we are just about there. So get ready to learn a lot more about the Madeline Soto case, because the defense now wants the discovery, want to see the evidence. They want to see the evidence. So in Florida, the rules are pretty clear. Once the evidence is filed and provided to the defense, it becomes a public record. Now, there are exceptions, certain things we may not learn, like the autopsy results. Okay? Certain things like the autopsy results we may not become public. There may be a little bit of a battle there. And the judge may step in and seal certain pieces, but we are going to learn a whole lot more. A whole lot more. Because what is the evidence that they have? Right now, the only evidence we know that they have is what we've been told and what's been provided in some of the documents. But the bottom line, as we sit here and speak today, is that I expect, what's going on here? I expect very quickly, at days, not months, not weeks, but within days, we should learn a lot more about this case. Melly welcoming everyone. Melly keeping order with Frankie Figs and Gen X, our mods today and every day. Thank you. This is a big moment because the real questions surround Madeline's mother. And what is her status right now? And this information may provide a lot more. Lundy today, some crazy stuff going on out there. Be safe, everyone. Be safe. Absolutely crazy stuff. I see it every day on Court TV, covering these stories, these cases, these crimes, these mysteries. So is she cooperating, right? Is she cooperating? What is she saying? What information is Jen Soto providing to investigators? We really don't know. We really don't know the level of cooperation or the level of non-cooperation. Now, they've said, oh yeah, family's cooperating, etc. But to what level is the question, right? How much extra information has she provided in filling in the gaps in the timeline, in the story, and providing some transparency into her life, into her daughter's life, into their world in that home, and then more specifically into the hours and minutes surrounding the disappearance and then ultimately the recovery of Madeline's remains. That's the real question that I believe will be answered within days when this discovery becomes publicly available. Okay? Publicly available. We'll learn a lot more. We may see a whole bunch of videos. We may see video interrogations. We may see video interviews. We'll get reports, evidence photos, perhaps some screenshots from the phone. What you won't get, though, and I guarantee you this, you won't get it, which are are the images from his phone. The images from his phone that became the subject of the first indictment. Those images of Madeline will never be made public. It becomes very dicey just handling things like that inside of a courtroom because of the nature of what it is. It's illegal. It's illegal. It cannot be. It cannot be transferred from one person to another. It just can't. When you have those types of images, generally speaking, in discovery, the defense doesn't get a copy of that stuff. The defense has to go to the prosecutor's office to view that stuff. Okay, so all those images on the phone, you're not going to see them. I'm not going to see them. The defense will see them if they visit, when they visit the prosecutor's office in a secured location. They'll have an opportunity to review those images, but they don't get a copy of them. Those won't be made public, thank goodness, right? Because that just becomes material for those people out there, those sickos. So it's very much controlled when information like that is revealed. And Mitch Brady says Stephen Stearns will pay. Indeed. Indeed, he will. Remember, there's going to be two cases, and we expect the images case to go first, and then second will be the first degree case, which likely will have the ultimate penalty, which they have a little over a month to make a decision on that. Are they going to seek the ultimate punishment? Allie tonight, evening, Vinny. Do you think pig vomit, according to Pascal, will be forced to appear in court? Thank you for the update in this horrific case. At some point he will be. At some point, has to be. We're seeing it in the Adam Montgomery case. He's been compelled to appear for his sentencing, which is when final judgment is entered. I was surprised at this appearance. He wasn't there. I was surprised by that. But at some point, he'll have to show up inside a courtroom, and it's Florida, and there will be cameras in that courtroom. All right. I got to find this. Where is the Darkest Duchess? Just getting here. What was the update, Vinny? The update is the defense has requested to review the evidence, which means discovery will be provided. Now, you will, at that point, much of the evidence will become public. What won't become public are the images, because those images are illegal to possess, illegal to transfer. It's illegal for a prosecutor. This is gray area, but I understand the policies and procedures of the offices I've spoken with and been a part of, is that those images don't even get transferred from the prosecution to the defense in preparation for trial. Those images remain at the prosecutor's office in a secure location. At the prosecutor's office I worked in, it was a locked room. It was a locked room where the stuff was kept. Now, most of the stuff was before the digital world existed. So there were actual hard copies of everything. So it was a little easier to control. Digital images, obviously much more difficult to control. But still, there is a way. There is a way to keep them locked and secured. Now, the fact that they were on his phone, they could be in other places. He could have shared them or sent them places off of some of those websites like Telegram, where it's difficult to track where it's coming from. But we won't see those images. We will not see those images. But we will, because it's Florida, open records, sunshine, the sunshine laws. Once the discovery process starts taking place, we should be just days away from these documents, images, videos that aren't the images that we were just talking about, should become public because it's a public record. These are public cases, public trials. So, what happens in court is all public. There's, certain courtrooms get shut down to the public, like juvenile court, not open to the public. But our courtrooms are, we own them. They belong to us, the people, we the people. So, all right. There is something going on here. I'm just checking. Okay. So to me, the part that I'm waiting for and what I want to understand clearer is, and I think it's the big open-ended question in this case and in this investigation, is what exactly is the role of mom? Gen X here saying hello to everyone. Tiny T, Sharon Marlowe, Aunt BB2, Sam Witch, Sassy Southern Gal, Veronica Watson, The Darkest Duchess, Cakesboro AU, Cat H, Jenny. Hello to everyone. Oh, don't worry, Mary. You didn't miss anything. You're good. We're up to 1,700 already in this spontaneous live stream. Again, for those of you not familiar, I do a show on Court TV every night at 8 o'clock. So all afternoon, I am busy working on two big stories for tonight's show. Actually, three stories, but two big ones. The Doomsday Prophet, Chad Daybell, big day in court, going over some stuff. Also going through some recordings from yesterday. Plus the Karen Reed trial up in Massachusetts. Looking at that. Let's see. Okay, 1 second. We got a big question here. It's going to take me a moment to read it. Let me do this so I can see it. Dear Vinny, I love your shows, your honesty. You just mentioned a case you lost because a witness had trouble admitting the truth and the jurors saw it. Like you said, good thing the person you were defending wasn't a murderer. Ha. Your shows are just the best. You really dig deep into cases. Been loving true crime stories since I was a kid, reading those 1960s True Confession magazines. Wow. Back in the day. Thank you, Vinny. That's from Cheryl Joyce. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate it. That's a very thoughtful note. Thank you so much. Here we go. Every 26 seconds is back. All right, good. Every 26 seconds has been sick with the flu, but is back. Good to know. Good to see. So getting back to what I think is the most significant part of this case is to fully understand the situation that Madeline was in. We need to understand her mother's position right now, which is not clear, but could become very clear through the public filing of the discovery in the case, the evidence, the information, the reports, etc., to see if she is cooperating and to what extent is she cooperating. Right? To me, that's crucial. Now, what I'm also interested in is here's the front entrance / exit, and there's a back entrance and exit. We've had law enforcement mention some videos that they've seen and have mentioned them at press conferences, but they didn't mention all of them. Like, it seems like Stearns is going back and forth a little bit, entering, exiting. So how many of these videos exist? What do you see in these videos? I would expect that those videos would be part of the discovery. And to me, that's something else I'm interested in finding out. Filling in the timeline. How many times did he enter? How many times did he exit that night, that day? And what do you see inside the vehicles? What do you see, if anything, inside the cars as he goes in and out of the, it's a gated complex, which, if you're someone like Stephen Stearns, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. You live in a gated complex. It's secure, which is great. You're safe from criminals. But if you are an alleged criminal, you're not safe from the videos. So that's a little problematic for him. Michelle L. Was mom perhaps offered a deal in exchange for information against Stefan? It's very possible. If she committed any sort of crime, whether it's just not being truthful or doing something to some potential piece of evidence. Yeah. But as a prosecutor, you want to walk very carefully before you have someone cooperate and cut a deal. Like, is there really something you can charge them with, or can they cooperate without being charged and without a formal deal? Because once you put a formal deal in place and it's a crucial witness, that becomes the first attack of their credibility, that they are saying what they're saying in court just because they got the deal. So if me as a prosecutor, I can avoid the whole deal thing and just have the person tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's what I want. But if she has an attorney and a defense attorney, they're always going to want some assurances. And their concern is not necessarily the conviction of the other defendant. Their concern, the lawyer's concern, is protecting their client. So they're always going to want to do anything and everything they can in their power to protect their client from any prosecution for anything related to the case. If so, they want that exchange. So while that exchange gives a level of security to the attorney and to potentially the witness, it's harmful or potentially harmful to the prosecution's case. So it's difficult. Do I think she's made a deal already? If she has a lawyer, I think those discussions have taken place for sure. For sure. My understanding is she does have a lawyer, because that's what a lawyer's going to do. Say, listen, what do you have here? What are we doing here? Do you want to hear what she has to say? And they may proffer what she would say if she would come in. They may say, well, yeah, if I brought my client in, my client could tell you about X, Y, and Z. Do you want to know about X, Y, and Z? All right, what are you going to give us? You see, if she has a lawyer, that lawyer is not going to give anything up until that lawyer gets something for his client in exchange. And even if she's not a target, even if she's not necessarily guilty, he wants assurances. Which in the form of immunity from any prosecution. So I think those discussions have happened. Absolutely. Now, but the question is, we still don't know what prosecutors think about her role based upon the evidence, because we haven't seen the evidence and they haven't told us. But if the evidence becomes public, it might be a lot easier to understand what may be happening, because we'll understand, do they have evidence that, relates to something that she could be prosecuted for? Or has she already told investigators a whole bunch of things that have helped them get to the point to where they are now? So that's what it's going to tell us. Thank you, Michelle L. Awesome. I think that so I want to address this from Joanne. This country is full of plea deals for guilty people, and I'm sick of it, especially when it involves a crime against a child. Okay. I understand what you're saying 1,000%. I'll give you the reality of how our system of justice works. And I'm a former prosecutor, right? That's my perspective. Number one, there has to be deals. There just has to be deals. If there weren't deals, it would adversely impact prosecutors, I think, more than defendants. Okay, let me explain. You go to any courthouse in any jurisdictions, there are just a fixed number of judges, and these judges can only hear one trial at a time. So if we lived in a system, if we had a system where everyone went to trial, no one pleaded guilty, no one got a deal, you just got charged and then you waited for your trial to happen, right? A couple things would happen. Number one, it would take years and years and years for cases to be heard. And it would be a nightmare, logistical nightmare to prioritize, whether it's the judge or the prosecution prioritizing which cases are going to go first, right? So you have that problem. So when people are charged, sometimes they are out on bond, out on bail. Sometimes they are incarcerated, awaiting their trial. So then it would give priority, most likely, to the cases where people are incarcerated. And I don't know if you would ever get to the bottom of that pile, because those are always the most serious cases, and they're the trials that would take the longest. So then you would take all of the cases where people are out on bond, and they would, it could take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years to try the case. If and when you ever got to trial, some prosecutor would get it in their lap, who was probably in high school when this happened, and now try to track down the witnesses, including the cops who may have moved on from this time or retired, and get your witnesses together to try to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. And everyone who testifies is going to have to testify about something that happened 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. It's a logistical nightmare. So there have to be deals. There has to be. And in our system, like 90% of the cases are deals. 90% of them. So let's get now to the fact of, you hate seeing people in crimes related to children get deals. Well, if there's more than one actor in it, more than one defendant in it, you may have to give a deal to one to get the other one. And if that's the case in this case, which it may or may not be, we don't know right now. We don't know. But if you're going to seek the ultimate punishment against Stephen Stearns in the way you've charged him, you want the strongest case possible. You don't want not even a scintilla of lingering doubt in the jurors' minds, because a lingering doubt could be the factor that keeps him from getting the ultimate punishment. Okay? So that being said, you want your strongest case possible, which might include a deal for mom. But you have to understand and look at what mom's involvement is or is not in the case. How connected is she? What does she know? When did she know it? All those things investigators have to go through, prosecutors have to analyze to say, is this someone who I, in good conscience, could give a deal to? Or is she so involved that I need to try her as well? Or is she not involved at all and just an innocent witness who is naive and oblivious? Right? That's what the prosecutor has to figure out in determining how to handle this person, who is obviously one of the most important witnesses in the case against Stephen Stearns, but could be potentially involved. It's complicated. It's not easy. It's not an easy call for prosecutors. You don't want to make deals. In cases like this, you don't want to make deals, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes they don't. And everybody goes to trial, and you roll the dice, you see what happens. Pretzel, crisps, and dip. What are your thoughts on handling these monsters by removing their desire to harm children? This may take a moment to ponder what I'm saying. Oh, I know what you're saying. You're talking about chemically obliterating their desires, right? Does that work? I think there have been experiments. I believe, okay, you want to talk about deals? You make that, and again, I'm not going to say it out loud because we're on YouTube, and YouTube might shut us down if I actually say the words. But it could be chemical. And then the next word starts with a C and rhymes with lastration, right? Rhymes with that. Or actually, I think chemically is probably the way it would be done. And it has been done in jurisdictions and other places. I believe it works to a certain extent. Do you make that? You can't sentence someone to that, but it could be a condition of a deal to voluntarily have that done. I think it's something worth addressing because these people don't get better, they get worse. But when the charges include the loss of life, I don't even think it's, that person just can't be loose in the public ever again. So I don't think I think it would just be more relevant to cases involving crimes and charges where someone will ultimately at some point be released, even if they serve the max. Thank you. Crisps and dip and chips and pretzels. All right. We've got a lot of folks on. We've got over 2,200 who just jumped on here so quickly today. We appreciate that. Let's see what Melissa Van Rensburg is with us today. Thank you, Melissa Van. Great to see you hopping in from somewhere unknown. Is that South Africa, perhaps? I think that's where it is, but I'm not sure. Thank you for watching. Greatly appreciated. Just checking some notes here. So prosecutors have a certain amount of time statutorily to decide if they're going to seek the ultimate punishment, right? I think that choice would be obvious in this case, but they'll take their time. But I think that's an obvious decision to make based upon the two different sets of charges. The first dealing with what's on his phone. So he's engaging in that conduct for years, which under Florida law is eligible for the ultimate punishment. But there have been many Supreme Court decisions that make me think that would be unconstitutional. That would have to involve the loss of life to seek the ultimate punishment, which I think they will in this case. I think it is something that is such an aggravating factor, the conduct leading up to the loss of life, that I think you have to seek the ultimate punishment here. You have to. But you want to put together your case, your pieces, your evidence, and, take your time. It's not an easy decision as a prosecutor either. Think about the weight that's on a prosecutor and having to make that decision on which punishment I should seek. It's not easy. They're all human as well. Melissa Van, hi from South Africa. Love your shows, Vinny. Yes, it is South Africa. I was correct. I got it right. Sweet. Thank you, Melissa. And Gen X telling everyone, spread the word that your boy Vinny is on YouTube right now. Let everyone know, friends and family. Here we go. Aunt BB2. They should do the medical version like Louisiana does under the age of 14. Yeah. These offenders don't get better. They get worse. They do. The conduct gets more and more dangerous, right? It may start with simple, exposure to stalking, to a touching, and it gets worse and worse. It escalates over time because they need it to escalate to get that jolt of energy, of adrenaline that they seek, as sick as they are. That's the world we live in. Frank Reeve really wants to know the medical examiner's findings will be the key for future decisions regarding him and the mother. Yes, you are correct. Because of the Florida law, we may not get that until the trial. We may not get it until the trial. It may not be made public. It's if you're a victim of DV. If you're a victim of DV, that's where you go. Oh, look at this. AD wants to know, is that Vinny's pickleball outfit? This is my casual wear. One day, I promise, for one of these, I will wear, I just have to track it down. I call it my Sopranos velour tracksuit. My Sopranos New Jersey velour tracksuit. I'll wear that for one of our special ones. This one, no, this is just, I'm just wearing this just to be comfortable in the afternoon while I'm doing all my work. But thank you. I have been known to wear it to a pickleball match, but not for the pickleball match. I will take it off and wear like a t-shirt for my pickleball. But thank you for noticing. I appreciate that. Okay. And Danielle, hey, Vinny, just got off work, ready for closing arguments tonight. Yes, thank you, Danielle. Closing arguments, 8 o'clock tonight. That's my show. That is my show on Court TV. Gen X, I think, has posted a link. So if you don't know how to find me on Court TV, you'll find out how to find me. Mary Beth Ricciolo. Civil commitment here in New Jersey. A judge can keep SOs jailed after their term is up. Yes, they can. There's no fixing them. But that's always a challenge. It's an ongoing battle. It's experts, it's doctors, and they're always trying to weasel their way out. But civil commitment is one solution to that problem. And I did practice in New Jersey. But Mary Beth, I need you as a person from New Jersey, when we post here, we need to give our exit number. Okay? All right, Mary Beth, I need your exit. If you're going to post from New Jersey, I need to know your exit because I'm from New Jersey. I haven't lived there in a while, so I like to brush up on my exit numbers. All right. And Carly Holland, another nurse. Didn't you work as a prosecutor in Florida, Vinny? What county? Is there any chance you will know anything about the judge who would preside over this trial? Boom. One, prosecutor in New Jersey, not Florida. I did live in Florida for a while. And I go to Florida a lot, and I love Florida, but did not work as a prosecutor in Florida. Thank you, Carly, for joining the show today. Who else we have? We've got Haley Menard. Like this live video if you see this comment. Come on, folks. Like it. Smash the likes. Thank you, Haley. Smash the likes. Danielle is with us. Vinny, I got to finish you. Texas versus Lopez special. Yes, that was Accomplice to Murder. Premiered on Sunday night. I'm not sure if they've posted it yet, but that is one of my other shows. We're in season 2. That was episode 1 of season 2. Thank you, Danielle, for watching. Texas versus Lopez. We went back to the scene, spoke to a lot of folks, witnesses, went through that whole story again. Tragic story. And that woman, what a manipulator. What a manipulator. Thank you, Danielle. All right, Debbie wants to know, Vinny, you're going to talk about the perjury issue in Massachusetts tonight. Vinny, yes. I'll give you a preview, sneak preview. You ready? We're going to bring in a body language expert to take a look at some of the testimony. Shh. It's supposed to be a surprise. But that's tonight, Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Tonight, 8 o'clock. All right, NJ Elaine 14C on the New Jersey Turnpike. Oh, wait, 14C. Wait, 14C? They've got all these letters now. It's hard to keep track. Is that Hoboken? Is that Hoboken? Jersey City? I'm not sure. I should know. All right. 1 second. I know we've got some nurses watching here today, so they'll understand. They know, they stay on top. I'm a type 1 diabetic. Right now, blood sugar is dropping, folks. Dropping. Not a good time for the blood sugar to drop. My blood sugar drops. I need some glucose gummies. It actually tastes good, especially when your blood sugar is low. All right. When my blood sugar gets low, the show slows down. 2,400. Wow. There she is, Daisy Boo. Have you ever covered a serial a trial on Court TV? Yes. Years ago, Dahmer. Dahmer wasn't a trial. It was just a sentencing. Also, the woman, the monster. Remember the movie The Monster? Down in Florida. That was covered. Yep, on Court TV. Who else? I think we had a hearing for BTS. So, yes, we have and we will. Thank you, Daisy Boo. Here's Donna Rawiri. Thank you, Donna, from New Zealand. Is that New Zealand? I think it's New Zealand. Hey, Jay. Hey, Vinny, just joining. Hey, Jay. Good to see you. Nora. Hello to my fave TV anchor. Hope you're doing well, Vinny. I am doing well. Blood sugar dropping just a little bit. I can sense it. I can feel it a little bit. Becomes a little more difficult to concentrate. JC, I was right. New Jersey Elaine, Jersey City. Awesome. I'm glad I got that right. I did 2 guesses, but, Hoboken, Jersey City. Glenda Mezzacapo. Hope he gets the ultimate punishment. Love your show. Thank you, Glenda. It's much more difficult these days in Florida, though, to get those jurors to agree. 2,500 watching right now. We're on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitch and X. Sunny Nights 68 giving us a super sticker. Thank you, Sunny Nights 68. Great to see you. Melly for the Gummy Fund. Thank you, Melly. I appreciate that. Thank you, Melly. It's not cheap. I go through a lot of them. It's all about just keeping the balance. Not going too high, not going too low. Right now, a little low, got to get up a little higher. Sarcasm for fun. What happened, Vinny Bubats? I'm late. Smash that like. Hello from New York. Love to all. Stay safe. What happened? What happened was the defense has requested to review the evidence in the case in the Madeline Soto matter. So once that happens, as the prosecution turns over the evidence and the discovery, it's called discovery, Vinny, and hands it over, at that point, it becomes a public record in Florida. So when that happens, the public at some point will have access to it, and we will learn a lot more. So I'm expecting this to happen within days, not weeks, not months, but within days. So we should learn a lot more. The question is, are they just requesting to review evidence in the first case involving the images on his phone, or in the big one, the second case? So that's what you got right there. Lily Blue, is Vinny type 1 diabetic? Yes, Lily. Vinny is. Yes, he is. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Sally Solomon, watching from New Jersey, Garden State Parkway, exit 40. Wow, that's way down there. That's way down there. That's like that's south of Long Beach Island. Is that like Ocean City area? What is that? Tarryton? Where is that, Sally? I never really, once you get below 62, exit 63, 62, my mind gets a little sketchy on which towns those are. But thank you, Sally. Thank you for watching. Appreciate the support. Let's see what else we have here today. All right, Sherry watching on Facebook right now. Hi, Vinny. I'm a loyal fan. Love your show. I watch every night and now on Facebook Live. Awesome. Sherry Shiflett Joyner. Thank you, Sherry. And I will not sing Frankie Valli right now, but I'm thinking it in my head. You know I am, Sherry. All right. Let's see. Nutmeg Queen, can't wait to talk about the Karen Reed case. That'll be tonight on my program, 8 o'clock. I'm on live, 8 to 10. Only person on television doing 2 hours of true crime, live and unscripted every night. Every night. All right. What is CCCCC? Jen, I'm afraid, let her daughter be used just to keep him creep. That is possible. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen a dynamic like that, unfortunately, from a parent. But I'm not sure yet. I guess I'm the optimist, Monica. I'm just an optimist. That's all it is. I'm an optimist. All right. Good night to April. It's 10:45 over in England. She's in Yorkshire. Yorkshire. Good night, April. We got a lot of folks from UK watching right now. We've got Crystal watching from England. Love your Tangent podcast and this End Court TV. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Crystal. I think she's home. CC asking, where is Madeline's mom? I think she's behind these gates that you're looking at right here. I think she's home. That's where I think she is. Home. Wrong pipe. Thank you, CC. A lot of questions. Who do we have here? Overprotected 1111. Just got diagnosed with type 2. I know it sounds weird, but knowing you deal with it makes me feel I can make it. I'm a nurse too. Absolutely. Let me tell you a little secret on why diabetes is not the worst thing in the world. Why? Because we control it. It does not control us. All right? Follow me here? We control it. It does not control us. That's the approach that you need, overprotected. Thank you so much. Janice, Marie Coleman, love you. Vinny from Mississippi. The one state that we all learned how to spell as kids. MISSISSIPPI. And we used to use it when we would play touch football. One Mississippi. But we used to say Mississippi instead of one Mississippi, two Mississippi, one Mississippi, two Mississippi. We've got Megan Jenkins. Hey, Vinny, did you see that Seth Rogers passed his polygraph? I did hear that. I also heard that law enforcement is saying the photo that everyone was talking about from the rest stop is not Sebastian. It's good news. You like to see the parents pass the polygraph. You want to see all the parents in this case pass the polygraph because I think that would give us greater hope, much greater hope for Sebastian. But thank you, Megan. Jackie M. Vinny, not new to watching, just chatting. I love watching your show. Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it. New to chatting. Chatting is fun. It's a part of the experience here that we provide. All right. Juanita sending love from West Virginia. Thank you, Juanita. All right. Gen X reminding that I have not set up any sort of membership yet. Maybe in the future. Stay tuned. That is correct, Gen X. That's, I'm like very overwhelmed right now, work-wise. I'm almost at the max of what I can do and provide. So I don't want to make any commitments that I cannot keep. So that's why that part of the program is not in effect. But thank you. And who do we have here? Daisy Boo is back. I have to stay up till 1 a.m. to watch you. Well, thank you, Daisy Boo, for staying up late. We love that. What you can do is just wake up later, right? So you still get the same amount of sleep, just shift it a little bit. That's all. That's all. There's some interesting conversations taking place about diabetes. Okay. Debbie Brigham, Vinny, I plan on telling my 10-year-old grandson Lane this. He is type 1, has been since he's 3.5. Yeah. Well, it's obviously much more difficult for a child. Much more difficult for a child than for an adult. The good news is the technology and everything's gotten so much better. But 3.5, 10 years old, it's tough. If you're an adult though, you approach it as an adult, you can meet it head on. You can meet it head on. Give my best to Lane, would you, Debbie? Please give my best to Lane. Melly, why is JS allowed to be so quiet? If I were innocent, I wouldn't be. Well, you have a right to remain silent. You do. The First Amendment allows us to speak freely in this country, and the Fifth Amendment allows us to be extremely quiet. So, that's just the way it is. Now, if she does have a lawyer, regardless of innocent or guilty, if she has a lawyer, you're not going to hear from her. You're just not. You're not. People hire a lawyer, they're going to listen to their lawyer and they're going to be quiet. So that's why. You're allowed to be quiet because you have a right to not say anything, right? You have that protected right to not say anything. But if you, and I get it, all of us look at it this way, right? If you're innocent and your child is the victim, why would you remain silent? Sarcasm for fun. We need to bring back the old commercials. And now by radio and social media, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Too many children going missing like Sebastian. CP needs a poly. There you go. Thank you, Sarcasm for fun. Yeah, I remember those commercials. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Well, in the Sebastian Rogers case, there was a thud in the room at around 10:30. So at 10:30, she knew that he was in the room. At least that's what I've heard. Carlos Martinez tonight with the American flag. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Carlos. Great patriot. Diane McClellan. Hi, Vinny. Watching from Scotland. A lot of folks from overseas tonight. Absolutely love your shows. You're the best. Thanks for all you do. I guess because it's just a little bit later there, right? Thank you, Diane. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Of course. All right. It's from Overprotected. Maddie is so beautiful. Thank you, Overprotected 1111. All right. All right, folks. I'm running out of time. We have 2,500. I hate to leave you, but I have to get ready for the show tonight, the 8:00 show tonight, which is on Court TV. We've got two big stories, Ron, the Doomsday trial and the Karen Reed trial. A lot of analysis, some really interesting guests. We've got live reports from both courthouses, obviously all the latest, bring you up to speed, but also give it that extra level of depth that you don't get anywhere else. 2 hours, 8 to 10 tonight on Court TV. Wow, I got to check my blood sugar again. It's taking a little while for those gummies to take effect. Let me see. What's my number? Yeah, I'll show you my number. It's 72 and steady. For some type 1s, 72, they can feel all right if they're always like between 70 and 90, but that's a little low. That's a little too low for me. I'm usually between 100 and 130 every day that's kind of my target. So when I get down to 72, my tongue starts to feel funny. I start to not be able to concentrate. So anyhow, I've got my gummies. I've got to get ready for the show tonight. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you to everyone for the support. Frankie Figs, Gen X, Melly, thank you for keeping order in the court. I'll be back. I'll be on TV at 8:00. Obviously, I'll be back here as well. I will be streaming as much as I can this week because last week I was on the road and it was much more difficult to do. This week I'm back, so yes, I will perhaps be back on tomorrow. Friday's going to be a little difficult because I have a bunch of radio interviews I'm doing on Friday. But we'll see. I got to see what the time is. I got to see about the tangents if they're going to be around. If they're around on Friday, it might be a little bit easier for me, so I don't have to carry the whole load. Danielle, yes, Madeline was a princess. It's horrific what happened to her and what she endured, which was way too much than any child should. All right, folks, that is it for this live stream. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for liking and sharing and following and supporting and watching on Court TV. It really is appreciated. I will see you tonight at 8:00. In the meantime, please don't forget to hug the kids.